Good evening, and welcome to another episode of the Black Super Friends podcast. Tonight, I will serve as your host, D. Horace Towns, and I am joined by the cast that you know around the world as the Black Super Friends. Tonight, I will introduce the cast. Tonight, I will start in Atlanta, outside a nice suburb with a nice lawn and good plush neighbors. Tonight, I will introduce the father of Super Mario Jr., and you will know him tonight as the Super Mario Sr.
Hey, greetings and salutations. I appreciate that, man. And I want to give a shout out to your brother, Jeremy. That's my grass sensei. He sends me all kind of grass tutorials. That's my hey man. I told myself not to go alone, but I got to go visit Jeremy within the next coming year, only because if I call him, me and Jeremy don't talk a lot. But as soon as I talk, he gives me every workout regimen that he has and every grass tutorial that he has. And it's like, man, this is my little brother. Like, you know what I'm saying? I used to see you walk home from school, but now he's just sensei. So shout out to Jeremy, man.
Yeah, well, I just want to highlight that he has a Tesla lawnmower. We got a electric,
For real. He
everything's
don't play.
electric. I just mind blowing. And then Big Norm now has an electric lawnmower.
Hey, that's the way, bro. No more gas, no more pulling no chain. You hit the button, then it levels by itself. The propellers being calculated. Bro, this is
Mr. Rogers over here.
Bro, this is
And Stanley, stay off my grass.
crazy.
It's
I
a-
told you this.
It's amazing what put a smile on your face a smile on your face at age 40.
Oh, for real. I was at Home Depot. I told her, I said, this the life. I was on the electric aisle. All electric. Ooh, you made it.
I might do a commercial because I was in Jeremy's video. So it's bad enough Jeremy's already 0% body fat. So he goes out there with the Hoochie Daddy shorts, no shirt on, and wrestling shoes, and cutting the grass out there. I like, and it's about 10 o'clock on a Saturday. So yeah, my dog, I kind of see through what he got going on. But next, I'm gonna go to the guy wearing Black Super Friends original apparel. Let me see, what's the? I'm trying to figure out an important date. Nope, birthday was last month. We covered that. Tonight you will know him as Zeta Latest Man.
Yo, hey, appreciate you guys. Welcome to the Black Super Friends podcast. Been a beautiful week. I do want to piggyback on your heart. Whenever we do talk to Jeremy, he's always talking about electronics, but my department is the Clippers. So I've gotten him into the wireless deals and which ones are going to be the best since he gets deployed on the missions. But you are right. He's followed my lead with the Hoochie Daddy shots, but he's taking it to a whole new level. So as our little brother, like you say, I admire looking at him and seeing him doing this thing. And then one more honorable mention. I do want to shout out Taysom Gaines and his wife, Nicole, on their 1 year anniversary last year. This time we were in Antigua celebrating their coming together, their oneness. And this today makes a year. So, you know what I'm saying? What's up to you guys?
All right, just know you forfeited your closing comments. Okay. All right, next I'm going. Miss Wellington, thank you for
Cheers.
joining our cast tonight. I will say you're free to come on and let us hop on you. I mean, join the cast.
Dog, I
Like
love
the
that
first one.
woman's accent, dog. I love that woman's accent.
She has an accent.
Oh, man, dog. She sounds so country in Texas and all that, dog. I love that woman's accent. Shout out to Nitty.
All right, Nanny. Yeah, we got to bring you on for one of these topics. Hey, next, I'm going up to the top. The man has some new fashion. I can't read, but don't hold it against me. That's definitely a hoodie that matches. Misunderstood. We've heard that throughout the year. But I'm going to shout out the guy who's probably going to make my clips go viral tonight. You'll know him tonight as Chris Leo.
Man, that's a big task to live up to, but we're gonna try our best. I appreciate all your ladies. Shelly in the building. Appreciate Shelly, the honorable mention, fifth member. But thank you guys for showing up every Monday. We appreciate it. We're gonna be here. Hopefully, see you here. Press the share button.
Yeah, for sure. Listen, I just want to let the ladies know we got 2 topics after we talk recent news that is going to be amazing. I think y'all going to want to hear this. That way you are informed. You won't get into no situation. But I wanted to actually have a show, and then I said, "Now nah, it's going to turn into a sports show, man," because we do talk business on this show. I mean, sports on this show time to time, and that's Chris Allen. But we lost a legend, and I had just said last week, man, I want to talk about who to go. You know what I mean? Because you got Kobe, you got LeBron, you got Kareem, you got Will, and then we lose the most charismatic, probably the icon of the NBA. He's an activist, 11-time NBA champion. He was first black coach. The man broke ground, wasn't afraid to speak on issues. And the most amazing thing was we actually met him. That was probably the last time I ate Chinese food. Me and Zay was on 45th Street, and Zay said, that's Bill Russell. I'm like, yeah, whatever. And looked over there. Yeah, it was Bill Russell in 45th Street eating Chinese food, man. And, I seen him one more time after that. And he's just a everyday Joe, But when you hear his stories about playing in that area, even though he was a celebrity, the racism that he then had to endure, his daughter tells about how every time it was an away game, they would come home to see their house ransacked with the inward throughout the house, outside and in. Somebody took a dump in their bed, and he's playing in the city that he's representing. So to endure all of that, man, I just gotta say rest in peace to our iconic figure who was big in sports. He had those accolades in sports, but he was consistent on all his accomplishments. Chris Leo, you the sports man.
Yeah, man. That's I want to give a big shout out to him, man. They say the racism in the South is bad, but Boston is just as bad too, and it's historically been like that. And there's a lot of players that still complain about the same thing. But I just appreciate the way the man was able to handle it. To stay calm and still put team first and still win. Like he's unarguably the best, the greatest winner in all sports, not just basketball, but all sports. This man won in high school. This man won in college. This man won in the NBA, and then this man got won 2 championships as a coach. So as far as winning, there's no one better. But I think that when I look back at those iconic pictures of him, Jim Brown, Muhammad Ali, all those black guys that got together, those big sports figures got together to fight for us, for people that look just like us. That's what's more important than all the wins and all the victories, because it's hard for me to root for Boston because I knew what that man went through at that time. But at the same time, man, I'm the stuff he did off the court is way bigger than what he did on the court, and that was huge. He did this when it wasn't popular to stand up. He did this when it could really seriously cost your career, because it cost Muhammad Ali. It cost him years of his career. But I just want to give a big shout out to that man. I think that if you're gonna live a life, that's one hell of a life to live, man. Rest in power to you, Bill Russell.
Ladies, man.
My brother. Well, Bill Russell was one of the greats. Outside of everything that Chris said, the 11 rings, and just who he was, even in his old age, taking the knee with Cap. He got down. And if anybody knows Bill Russell, that's a very tall man. And for his old age to get down when some of the younger guys refused to because of what they would lose, he'd been putting on the years for line. So for years, sorry about that. I just want to say rest in peace to the king.
Hardy boy.
I think Chris covered like 90% of what I was going to talk about, only because he was so, like, his life was so introspective on the world, on the world of basketball, way more than just basketball. Like, at the end of the day, in that time when Bill was really coming up, like, racism was at an all-time high. And Boston is still Boston. LeBron James today has said the worst place he hates playing at is Boston. and Boston has a black coach and an all-black team, and the fans there are still 90% racist. So it just show you that. Imagine back when they didn't have a black coach, they didn't have a black team, what he was going through being a black player, trying to get black people to vote for to root for Boston when the Lakers were the chocolate team of the century. And they was going back and forth. You know what I'm saying? So hey, shout out to Bill and everything he stood for. Every obstacle he overcame and everything, man. Let's just say he lived a hell, like Chris said, he lived a hell of a life. And we appreciate every sacrifice he made. Salute, King.
And don't forget, that was around the time when they called the black team in New York the New York Knickerbockers.
Yeah.
I was like, "Dang, that's kind of clever." But man, Boston. I had to go there on a layover, and that I don't know what it is about Boston, but they do have some white thugs be ready to get it in. I don't know what it is about they brawling. They love it. Yes, Chris.
Fun fact: he was the first player to ever have 40 rebounds in one game. He was the first player to ever average 20 rebounds for a season. He once got arrested in a at the airport toting a gun, but they let him go. When I did more research on him, man, he like I said, he lived a one hell of a life, man. One hell of a life, and he married a black woman.
Yeah, we got to meet him, so that was pretty dang cool.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I wish I would have took pictures.
Yeah, well, I don't even think. I think
that wasn't popular then.
Yeah,
I'm thinking about that.
Yeah. I don't even think they had good picture taking capabilities back then, right? No.
But and he's from LA.
Yeah,
that's the thing too. He went to Boston and he's from LA. You know what I'm saying? So to see, it was just Bill was a hell of a guy, man.
Interesting fun fact. I tell anybody that area across from the mall, that back, I don't even know what that's called, that back road right there that runs around the presidential golf view. So you got Hank Aaron, Jackie Robinson, and Bill Russell. So I don't know if Bill Russell stayed here, but I know Jackie Robinson and who I just mentioned, they all stayed back in that area. So it's always been popular for people to have residences here, man. And shout out to when the Braves was here in Florida. That was nonstop.
But I'm sorry, I got to keep on going with this. Just to put this in perspective, imagine Shaq at his prime, and then it's another player that's overshadowing Shaq to the point where you can't remember, you really don't remember him like that. We forget that he played with Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt Chamberlain was the Shaq, the most dominating player in the whole world. Scored 100 points in a game. This man was the most dominating player in the whole world, and we remember Bill Russell more than we remember Wilt Chamberlain. That's amazing to me.
All right. Well, since we talked about activism, before we get to our topics, we had something here happen just recently. We can't overlook the Kaepernick situation where, he kneeled and that took off, right? So this week, Mike Tomlinson had his comments about players kneeling, and I didn't want to believe that it was true, but he made comments saying, that his players wouldn't be kneeling, and that we were going to respect this country. And I don't even remember all of the comments, but I was kind of like shocked that he made those comments, even when that wasn't even really somebody what we were talking about right now. So for you to kind of openly just speak on it and bring it back up and speak against it, it made me kind of feel a way. And I hate that even if I don't support something, maybe I won't speak against it. When you're an influential person or you're somebody who words are impactful, I think you have a responsibility sometimes to watch what you say. And the people that are against Cap might take this one person, this is how I feel, might take Tomlinson and say, oh, well, look how Mike feels, and it fights against the cause. So I don't know how y'all felt, but it kind of had me. It could have been clickbait, but that's how I saw it. Mario.
I tried to do a lot of research on this before I spoke on it, and I'm still not done, and I don't feel comfortable enough speaking on it about what I've seen, because from what I've known, and I don't give people the benefit of the doubt. If you're watching this show, I call a spade, and whatever you is. And we all make mistakes, but if you made the mistake, you made it. And you got to own it and wear it. But from everything I've seen of Mike Thompson, with hiring the Dolphins head coach, speaking of going back at Terry Bradshaw, cuddling Antonio Brown, like taking continuously trying to hire black and support of black and ethnic coaches and players with Brian Leftwich. I'm just saying, like on and on and on. Him really just trying to be the black man. I watched him on I Am Athlete sit down and talk about what it means to be a black coach and how it means so much to him, because it's being a leader that walking that line of understanding, like, I'm a man first. So I'm teaching younger men how to be a man. Coaching them is easy. Making sure they become men, especially black men, is his main objective. I want more context before I really, and if you give me a minute, but by next week I should have more, because I gotta have more context because as of right now, what I'm about to say will be launching on him for what I've seen so far. But I want to make sure that I'm right 100% before I say what I'm going to say today. I'm not going to waver unless I find some other news that throws me off. But as of right now, I want to know, like Horace said, I'm trying to find the context, but like, why were you talking about this? And I understand the questions that was asked and all that, but I want to know, like, where did this come from? Because I've heard you so many times before eloquently speak about Cap kneeling and what it really stood for. So for all of a sudden for you to make this comment, it's like left field. So that's why I reserve, if y'all don't give me, I'm sorry, I know I normally have something to say about everything, but on this right here, I just needed another week to get all my facts straight before I go in, because right now, I was finna go in. But someone just told me, hold on, my brother, hold on. So maybe y'all got some more facts that might even be, I might be glad.
Well, Chris is the sportsman. Is that you got something?
No, not too much. I was looking at it. I don't know enough about it to speak on it, like Hardy said. But with Mike Tomlinson being the type of guy that he is, just straight cut to himself, usually not speaking, I do want to know what evoked that conversation, which made you speak in such a manner. Because as you did say, Horace, a man of his stature, you got responsibility with words that comes out of your mouth, and you can swing that. You can swing anything one way or the other just by saying the right or the wrong thing. So it's best sometimes to be quiet. But again, we don't know what initiated that conversation to latch on to him.
Well, fellas, I'm going to comment on what I've seen. I think that he was answering the question, and that's a respectable man to me. He has a track record of respectable acts. So even if it's a questionable one, I won't go too deep into it. But for what I say is this: as a former athlete, especially a team athlete, listen to the coach. That's the first thing I think that the players should do. Listen to the coach, because we have seen how social justice can be a distraction sometimes with teams. We've seen that with the Brooklyn Nets, how Kyrie's distraction probably caused that season, because in the preseason they was looked at to be probably win the championship. So I think that sometimes that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to not make that a distraction. But I don't want him to. I want him to understand that it was never about kneeling, and it was never about Kaepernick. It was about the injustice and treatment of black people against law enforcement. It's being killed. Unarmed black men being killed by law enforcement. That's what the whole kneeling is about. And I hope he understands that it wasn't, for some people, it wasn't just a popular thing to do. It was for some people, it was something that they really, really supported and they really, really believed in, because it could hit home with them. I'm a person that police violence hit home with. My sister was shot in the face by the Fort Lauderdale Police Department. So I'm with that. All I'm saying is this: I get it. You don't want distractions. Cool. But I hope you have to feel the same way from all these social issues. So when in October, when Breast Cancer Month come up, don't make them players wear pink, because that would be them caring about a cause that doesn't disproportionately affects them, because this one disproportionately affects Black men. So when it's Domestic Violence Against Women Month, when it's Native American heritage, Hispanic heritage, they feel the same way about them, because their issues is not more important than ours. And as Black men, we are tired of our issues being swept up under the rug and asked to show support for other people's issues. Police violence disproportionately affects Black men. The NFL is majority Black men. So yes, this is an issue that the NFL cannot run from, period. They cannot run from. They've mishandled it the first time, and I'm with it. Hey, I'm as a person that actually boycotted the NFL for 4 years. I'm in full support. I actually did that, but I am moved on from the kneeling. I'm moved on from that. I want more actions, and I have seen different actions that the NFL takes towards social justice for Black people. I get that. But to stop them from fighting for a cause that's important to them and ask them to celebrate breast cancer that doesn't, ask them to celebrate domestic violence against women that doesn't, not to say there's anything wrong with that, ask them to support the LGBTQ community, which doesn't affects them. I think that's a slippery slope right there. But I'm going to trust in this Black man, but that's a slippery slope to me.
Yeah. Next week, I'm going to be controversial again. I want to speak on Deshaun Watson. They're giving the boy another suspension, man, and it's been
a time off.
Yeah, this is first suspension.
No, I thought it was his second.
No, that's his first. The first time the Houston Texans asked him to step away until it gets solved out. That wasn't, but he wasn't suspended by the league. This is his first technical suspension from the league. They just asked him to step away. He was still getting paid when he was with the Houston Texans. Right now, he ain't getting no money. This is actually a 6-game suspension. He losing money and all that. Yeah.
So let me ask you something.
I thought he was guaranteed.
It is the signing bonus. He got all that when he signed. Right. That was crazy because they said they didn't have to do that, but he got all the signing bonus and he got his contract. But when the league say you suspended, you can't be paid. So for 6 games, he won't get his game check. Don't matter. 6 games is nothing.
You know what though?
Nothing.
If we look at all our athletes, it's always rape is usually there. I'm just worried about the dude losing some of his prime years, man. And we look back on history. I'm not taking up with nobody, but bro, this man has been fighting those allegations. And I always say, if they had enough, he would be under the jail. But I leave it for
but in this case, though, I know we don't want to talk about this tonight, but in this case, he got this is a blessing. If I was him, I'd have packed it up that day, went home, and then told nobody on my camp, don't say a damn thing. Don't let them check out. Ezekiel Elliott got found not guilty. See, Deshaun paid out. He didn't get found. Like, at the end of the day, he still broke bread. Like, and he still got half a seat. Like, this motherfucker, like the dude who betted for the Falcons got a whole season for betting. He ain't touched up. So 6 games ain't shit. That ain't nothing.
Speaking of grape, are we gonna forget that Mystical just got arrested for it too? But never mind. We'll just move on.
Did y'all say that lyrics can't be used against you?
They trying to play.
Yeah, they said that.
So lyrics can't be used against you. You might be all right because it's not okay to be arrested on rape and you got a song called Pussy Crook.
Hey, and you can't get arrested for rape 4 times, man. Come on.
Come
on, man. Somebody can't be lying.
They mess you up every time.
Danger.
So you just look like a rapist, huh? They just throwing rape.
Watch yourself.
He look rapey though. Every picture is
every time they catch him, he look like I did it.
He look rapey with the braids. He look rapey with a bald head. He just look like it's dangerous. Like then it just you know you can't get consent when you're talking that fast.
I just and I'm trying to be on his side, but he do have the I just rate the chick look.
You do. He look real rapey, and I like Mystical. You know, I started a whole clothing line say help them out. I fought with my dog, but I'm sorry, bro. I gotta look. When you start raping, hey man, I hope he's innocent until proven guilty though. So we digress.
You Mystical dog. You ain't gotta rate nobody. Well, I'm gonna tell you something. I got a long video, right? And I only say this because oftentimes videos trend, and when they trend, sometimes we get a clip, and then Mario or Chris will go and watch the whole thing. I sometimes don't do that. But it was a video that was trending this week because a young man flew the chick out, and all you do is see a car conversation where they're coming near the airport where a dude puts out the car because she didn't, he didn't get it to clap the cheeks. And most people feel like that's what flew out is all about. So he put out the car. He didn't get a luggage. He told her straight up, "Hey, I ain't." And then she got out the car with arrogance, like, "Just give me my confirmation." Called dude lame, all kind of stuff. And he said, "Ain't no ticket." So I'm gonna let y'all look at this video, man, because it is definitely something to talk about.
Hey, y'all about to drop her ass off.
Yeah, drop me off, nigga.
Y'all ever see her out? Don't fly her out.
Drop me off, nigga. Don't worry about it.
Man,
don't worry about it.
You dumb. Don't trip. You dumb. You getting dropped off.
I don't care, nigga.
Watch out.
The fuck?
That shit kind of. I'm just saying that shit.
No, you're lame.
No, I'm saying
you're really lame.
No, I'm saying what you did was lame.
What was lame?
What you did.
Because I don't want to give up my coochie to
we
you.
on the phone facing.
Nigga, you're weird.
Nigga,
you're weird.
Like, I flew you out.
I don't give a fuck, nigga. I could have paid for my own shit, and I still would not have gave you no coochie. So what are you talking about?
Whatever.
Nigga, you lame as fuck. No, you lame as fuck.
I'll fly her out, pay for her food. She want to take a shower, walk around in my room with a towel on. But I can't get the cheeks though. I can't get the cheeks though.
You thirsty nigga. You a thirsty nigga.
Right here, Spirit Airlines.
Get me the fuck out of here.
Your little ticket at Spirit Airlines.
What you mean?
Spirit.
What you mean pay for my little ticket at?
I paid for your ticket to get here. Who else paid for your ticket to get? I paid for it.
Nigga, whatever. Just get me out this fucking car. Cause you're lame as fuck.
Whatever. I'm about to get out of my shit.
Before you fucking crash and burn us. Get me the fuck out of here. You lame ass nigga, cause you ain't get no fucking coochie.
Get out.
Nigga,
get out my car.
Whatever. Just
get out my car.
Just make sure you give me my fucking confirmation number.
What? Ain't no confirmation number.
What you mean?
Ain't no confirmation number. I cancel the flight. I cancel your flight. Buy your own ticket. You been trying to go on them cheeks? Nah.
Yeah.
It's so bad. I ain't in your bag here. Your bag right
here. I came here with nothing.
So
are you serious?
Cool. Go. I'm dead serious. You ain't want to give me no cheeks?
You're lame as fuck. Because you can't get no coochie.
I'm saying you gotta go. You gotta go. I'm not paying for your ticket. I'm not paying for none of that shit.
I don't care about none of that shit. You're lame as fuck.
Hey.
You can't get no pussy.
Alright. Buy your own ticket. Buy your own ticket. Buy your own ticket. She gotta buy her own ticket now. Fly yourself out. I done flew her ass out and now she don't want to give me no cheeks. You feel me?
My dog went to TSA. My dog went to TSA. He went to TSA, man. Listen, I think. Well, shout out to Lil Duval who had an accident, so he ain't available. We gotta have a city. Y'all gotta have a City Boys, City Girls convention. We need to lay out the 2022-23 rules of engagement because being fluid out, I was known to have this agreement, unspoken agreements, and then this situation here. I'm not going to tell you who's right, who's wrong, but at first hearing the whole content, women, I seen the comments where women, oh, he's lame, da 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 da, but it's something. I'm trying to understand the arrogance of the city girls when she ain't got it. She got humble when he said ain't no ticket. She just called this man lame, told him broke, and then
crash and burn.
Pause in the video where the dude say, "I fly you out, you walking around the room with the towel on and all that. So I'm watching my comments because it's been a rapey day in the news. So it's a no-win situation here, man. I don't know what to say. Zay, ladies, man, I'm gonna give it to you first.
It's a no-win situation, but I think he knew when to hold him and when to fold him. And I think he got some of the key parts wrong. I think the key part was when she said lame ass nigga. And if you notice that Hemi heightened as that boy stepped on the gas to expeditiously get her where she needed to be, because she obviously wanted to get the fuck out of the car. That's what I heard, So he got her there. He saw that this wasn't going to go in his favor. He didn't want any of that mystical aura on him. So he said, you know what? I was taught as a young man, where I pick something up is where I take it right back. And that's exactly what he did. The lesson that I see inside of that is God bless the child that has his own. Not everybody takes kindly to being used. Women, don't think that because you're beautiful, voluptuous, or what do you call it, popular pretty, that's going to get you through the city. You cannot be going to another man's establishment, walking around in a towel with the intention of not giving them any. Yes, you can do whatever the hell you want to, but I just don't think that that's wise. Those are the lessons of the words that I'm going to say tonight, and I'm going to say that I enjoyed every bit of that video. I think she got her just desserts. Everything she asked for was granted. I digress. What you got, Chris? What say you?
Well, no, wait a minute. We leave the finale for. I was going to go to the date doctor last, but.
Oh, my bad, G. My bad. Mario, you married. What you, because you always have a nice take on when women ask for things you feel like it should be granted. How did you feel about that young lady and her comments and her movements as a lady?
I definitely don't feel like a woman asking for nothing should be granted. I feel like if a man say he signed up for it, he should be, when you sign up for something, you should be careful what you sign up for, because then that's the contract you sign. So then you should fulfill it. For him, I listened carefully to this a bunch of times. But this is stuff that I heard that a lot of people was commenting on that they didn't mention. We have been FaceTiming and talking for months and weeks. So he didn't just come out the air and say, and think he was just getting those cheeks. This has been conjured up. So it's not like one of them, I met you one night at the club, I bought you a drink at the bar, and I think I'm supposed to smash. Oh, no, contraire. Do not do my brother like that. This has been a lot of, in Horace's book, FaceTime over the phone, dating over the phone. He prepared. He prepared the place for her to stay. She, I'm pretty sure, led him in a direction that they were going to take their, whatever they was calling themselves, situation to the next level, and perpetuated it by coming, walking around naked with a bathtub or a bathrobe on, and then proceeding to not give him any. Now, at that point, he did not hit her. He didn't cuss her out. He didn't throw her out of his apartment. He let her go to sleep, apparently. Got her up the next morning and told her to go back home. See, this is where it gets hairy, because everybody's going to say, you should have bought that ticket. He just told her, I heard on the ride over, oh, nigga, I would have bought my own ticket. I can buy my own ticket as I'm watching the Dior bag strap across her chest and her hair laid and slayed to the side and her eyelashes flickering and her nails done to the T. So I'm saying this sounds like a woman who got her own, a boss bitch, a woman. Girls run the world, a queen of all queen, an independent woman, a woman who don't need a man by any necessary because she got her own. I heard that vigor in her voice. I seen the swagger. It wasn't only in her, it was on her. I seen the Dior. So when he asked her to get out of her car, that she so eloquently said, I hope you wreck. And told her after you just said you would get what? Pay for your own ticket. You know what? I canceled the ticket. Because you flew over on Spirit anyway. Yep. And so now you get your bag out, and now this lame ass nigga and all this stuff you think you can order around to say, you better give me this, you better do this, and you better do that. It didn't work out that way. And I think that any respectable woman should be happy. If you didn't want to get a guy coochie, he let you sleep. I'm saying he didn't rape you. He didn't beat you. He didn't kick you out that night. He dropped you back off at the airport so you can use your own funds to get back home. I don't see what was wrong, but the comments lit his ass up. And I always say this last thing before I'm gonna let Chris go. If you don't give a damn about what people say who don't do a damn thing for you, then those insults don't matter.
Not at all.
I'm a lame, but I got in my car and drove home. I'm a lame, but I flew you out. I'm a lame, but you got on a Spirit airline and flew clear across the world to a nigga who you apparently didn't see sexually attracted to and spent days of your life playing a game. But I'm a lame. See, fellas, you can't give a damn about being called broke. You can't give a damn about being, you got to give a damn about being broke. You can't give a damn about being called lame. You got to give a damn about being a lame. So, hey, you and all your insults can get on your call some other dude and see if he can fly you out. And you keep playing your games, my sister. But I would say, well played, my brother. You held your composure and you did what I would request you to do. Didn't put your hand on her, didn't leave her abandoned, and you dropped her off at a responsible place where she won't get attacked. Good job, my brother.
Yes.
Chris, help us. Guide us through this murky water here.
But first off, on a side note, it looked like my sister has tuned in. I want to give a public apology. She thinks that I hung up on her while we was arguing, which I didn't hang up on you. The phone was in the other room and it went dead. I just didn't call right back because you turned it to feminist Maximus on me. And I was having a rough time, but I do apologize and I love you. Okay, so to play devil's advocate to Hardy, I gotta say that I think this is all the man's fault. I truly do. I think that I said this before and I'm gonna say it again. Stop treating first dates like girlfriends, and everything is a first date until you smash. There has to be a higher level of treatment or hierarchy in how you treat women that you have been sexually intimate with. Those are the women that get flued out, not women that hasn't been intimate with you. You know what I'm saying? You're basically meeting this woman for the first time. You can't think that they don't care. It's the first meet, so you never know. You're rolling the dice every single time. This I don't think men get this wrong from women who text them good morning and tell them how handsome. I don't think men get this wrong from women that if they're hungry, the woman will send you some DoorDash over to the crib. I don't think you get this from women that's constantly talking about wanting to see you and wanting to be around you. Those women has already let you know that once I get up there, I'm gonna give it to you. You can't be tricked by a woman that bought a ticket. That when you have to make women put in effort. You can't be scared to make a woman put in effort. Tell her to buy her ticket and you'll pay half for it, or tell her to buy her ticket and when she get here, you'll give it back. You'll give her the money back. That makes her put some skin in the game. If she got all that ball shit to talk about, do some ball shit then. I think this is your fault, brother, and I'm sorry. I think that you handled it. I didn't like that you recorded it because that's like exposing, and we shouldn't be doing that. You know what I'm saying? If she want to record it, yeah, you say what you want. Let her record and you tell the world, yeah, I'm dropping her off. She ain't smashed. But at the same time, dog, like you can't make mistakes. You cannot make mistakes like this. You only need to be dealing with women that wants to be sexually active with you and make it known, especially in this climate of the world right now, dog. You got to get these things straight because you could get cased up in some bullshit. So no, I to play devil's advocate because I do agree with what Demario's saying, but no, dog, we don't mess with women that really like you, and you will never mess this up. That's what I think.
Well, Chris, I
agree with that point, though. That's a good
Definitely
point.
concur.
I think all points are valid. I just see, before I go on, I just see in this era, people repeating shit. Whether it's, now you got motherfuckers in a rapey culture, in an STD culture, you got motherfuckers. I see, hey, this shit's a new thing, hopping on flights. And a lot, if you ain't hopping on a flight, you know the expectation is that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'd be trying to figure this one out, because I'd be seeing mofos like a Jedi mind trick. A lot of chicks who dated broke ones clowning the dude, talking about he broke. And dudes fall for it because he gonna spend money he ain't got to prove to her I ain't broke. It just be mind-boggling to me, man. All for some box.
But we gotta also understand, man. We live in a world where this is from women. They can change their mind at any point in time, and you have to be acceptable of that. That's why I agree with DeMario, because if you can change your mind at any point in time, I can change my mind at any point in time. So yes, it was an unwritten rule that you were supposed to give me some, which I can't cash in on it because it was an unwritten rule and it wasn't said. But it was also probably an unwritten rule that I was going to give you a ticket back. So if you change your mind, I'm gonna change my mind. That's just like when a woman says no. I believe that when a woman says no, it means no, and you should stop. But as much as I believe no means no, I believe yes means yes. Because if no means no, yes have to mean yes. So you can't get after and start saying something was different when yes means yes and no means no.
I agree. I have to agree with that. I ain't gonna lie. I agree with that. I agree with Chris' whole premises. That's a good way to look at it because I agree. If a man from the beginning of the injunction, if you're right, this has been a big aura right now. I mean, I don't know if you notice on social media and in the world, even on pastors, they've been preaching about like you have to like the person that's assigned to you. Like, but so many times we're trying to find the person that don't like us and trying to coerce them or trick them or convince them into liking us. And I agree, Chris. And then that's when you get into these situations where you're trying to do everything to line up the stars for you. When if a person like you, she jumping on you at the airport. Like it's not even this thing. Then you not even buying a ticket home. You upgrading her because you just feel like this the least I can do because I genuinely have a connection with you. And I agree. If I think people, that's not only men and women. I think if we start honestly saying this person, I might like the way they look, I might like what they got and all that, but this person right here, oh boy, they really
get nasty when she
really fuck with me. They fuck with me. They have compassion for me, understanding for me. They want me to win, and they care about my health. Like Chris said, if I'm hungry and I'm working a double shift, they DoorDash to my job. They just do the little small. That's the woman you got to say, I'm gonna save up my money and fly them out.
Fly her out. Because
right. You know what I'm saying?
Everything will be better then.
Yeah. And I agree with that. I agree with that part. And I agree with, but if you don't do that, and then you walk around and then take the other road of trying to coerce, then the best way you could have done it is what he did. Remove yourself from that situation. No harm, no foul. Like Chris said, you change your mind, I changed my mind. I dropped you back off though, where I got you from, in a safe environment where you could purchase the ticket that you said you had the money to purchase.
We both learned a lesson.
Both learned a lesson.
Teachable moment.
You learn, don't get on the plane and go see a nigga you know you don't want to fuck. You know, because she never planned on fucking. Let's get that straight. Like, she not sexually attracted. So I would want to know, ask women, why? It can't listen, food and a trip can't be that important. I'm not flying to Seattle to see a bitch I have no reason to want to have sex with. I'm not doing it. I don't care. She can. It's free. Just go to whatever restaurant you want. I'm straight. I don't want to spend time with somebody who I don't like. So I don't understand why women do that. Like, you flew out to a whole other state with somebody who you apparently didn't like. That's lame. As hell.
That's super lame.
That documented the whole trip. You know how they do the out the window, I'm on the way. Listen, fellas, first of all, we don't approve of anybody having their game in their pocket. Yeah. Second, if you flying out and whatnot, that does not mean that you have an agreement for sex. Hey, do not put yourself in that. Do not put yourself. You will hope so, but listen, that ain't a guarantee.
Well, it's not calling them lame. That's not going to talk you out of it. You know,
hey, well, it talk you out of, but then your actions talk you out of the chicken.
Yes,
so I guess we all. I guess we all talked ourselves out of something.
I'll tell you what, the way they canceling flights and the way them last minute flight prices be, oh my God. she might have ended up having to sleep with somebody to get home. So
can you put up
that's
Vanessa's comment? That is what I'm talking about, right there. See how a woman took the road of my sister. You put yourself in danger. Every dude is not going to have that outcome. Mystical has been arrested his 4th time.
Mm-hmm.
Understand? And he's rich. He's rich and famous. And a lot of women say he's good looking. And he's been arrested for his 4th time of rape. So understand that right there. That it's all fun and game and lame and all that stuff right there until you get in the car with a nigga who on his last straw.
I can tell you the advice that I have to give my daughter: do not accept anything or anything from a man that you don't perceive want to have sex with you.
Right.
That's just if you go with it like that, perceive that any man doing something nice to you want to have sex with you. You have to be scared about it, but just have that in your mind. That's what it is.
Who you get that advice to?
I get advice to my daughter.
Oh, my heart.
Yeah.
Not the baby.
Oh, you got to.
Did you see them classes though? The 9th grade classes.
Yeah.
Did you see them 9th grade honors classes though? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Kai.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah. And I meant to bring up today. Shout out on the way to high school, man.
She done that.
Yeah, started.
Well, these 4 years gonna go by fast as on the Hussein boat.
Boy, Chris gonna be crying a whole lot. You know, Chris is sentimental. Her first prom, first PE class, first powder puff.
I'm gonna say it publicly here, man. I'm gonna say it publicly to try to put it in the air. But my goal is to get at least 2 of these high school years, man, by myself. You know, dad and daughter. Just give me some encouragement, give me some prayer. But I want at least 2 years, bro. I want 2 years.
Well, that'd be great.
Yeah,
that'd definitely be great. Hey, and you know it'd be great. I wanted to share y'all video from the race. Thank you for keeping us alive, Chris.
Yes.
I was nervous at first.
I'm not letting them beat you out. But I'm gonna tell you how it started, right? I took her out for her birthday. We were supposed to go to the Museum of Illusions, but we had to get a ticket, and it would have been waiting so long. But then while I was doing it, it started raining really bad, so we had to run back to the truck. Now I got my shorts on, I got stuff in my wallet, my keys, stuff like that. My pants kind of falling down. I know I'm 40, but you know what I'm saying. So we running back to the truck, and she kind of smoked me a little bit. So I was in her mind, she been thinking ever since her birthday, oh, dad, and lost it. That's when I started the 30-day challenge. That's what that day I started and said my whole goal is to smoke her back. I know it's petty, but that was my whole reason for starting the challenge. So my daughter would beat me running.
All right.
Hey, your daughter don't think you Superman because you can't fly. You gotta be able to fly at all times. You gotta know I'm flying no matter what. I'm coming. You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
All right. Well, listen, before we close out, you know, now that I've been granted the whole tab of being a digital creator and I get paid for reels, I always get questioned by people about my reels, and you know, I think they're impactful. I think they're amazing. Some of them are the cinematography is amazing. So Chris is one who always questions me about some of my reels. So let me set it up. So I really wanted to set the topic up about what it was I hustling for. What do we hustle for? All of us have a backstory. And I was talking to Mario, and Mario took it another way, and it just kind of made me feel away. And then, you know, this last year I've been kind of grieving because I say, you know, every couple of years you start to see where you might be close here, and then your friends, y'all start to separate. You start the separation. With separation, no, elevation comes separation. And you just start to see y'all all going down different paths and whatnot. I know I had some partners who I thought we would be cool forever, and that ain't the hell. I probably haven't talked to them in years. Then I'm also guilty of wanting more for people than they may want for themselves. And I think everybody can be guilty of that. Mario slaps my hand all the time for the stuff that I may think of, but I think that's just my heart, because when I don't see some reciprocity, then I feel offended or whatnot. But Chris brought this up, and I'm gonna let y'all see the video where I really was talking about being a grown man and reflecting on what made me change. Yo, women say men don't hold other men accountable. I don't agree with that. A lot of us do. But I would say this to men. Yeah, the society of men, especially black men, is a little hindered because some of us have made that final step of becoming a man. We've made it a choice when it should be a natural process, but that's just what life is right now. 2022, make sure you are who you think you are. See, on this evolution to manhood, most men had this moment where they look in the mirror and get themselves a straightening. It takes courage to look in the mirror and say, I ain't shit. Or look in the mirror and say, I can be more. I can do more. I want more. I'm a grown man. See, if you ain't had that conversation in that mirror, make sure you ain't been spending all your time selling yourself a lie. Because the worst thing to do is lie to yourself. So, back to my thing. Bro, manhood is a choice. And, you know, we started to see some separation and whatnot with certain things. And that's where it came from, man. Because I know, you know, when I hustled, I would say I actually did it because I needed to. Yeah, I had a Tyler was just born, got hurt on my job, I didn't really lose my job, I got hurt at the post office, $200 in my pocket. I only know what to do. Just I did something and I did what I needed to do. And I think throughout life, everything I did was for a purpose. I don't think it was selfish. I think I made sure I put myself last, maybe too much. But every man is different. And I feel like as men, there's certain things as a man, and I could be definitely wrong. There's certain things at a certain point that a man should be doing. We go back to what we say sucker shit. There's certain shit I just feel like as men you have to be doing. So that was the basis of the video, and like I said, I had just talked to Mario the night before, just reflecting on our lives and stuff like that. So that's where it came from, Chris Leo.
Yeah, I think it was the movie. I say it like this: the video was all over the place, but it seemed like you just was dropping gem, and it seemed like you just had a lot of shit that you wanted to say, and it was hard to condense it into like a 60-second video because it was at first you're talking about men holding other men accountable. You never bring that back up, but you say that you disagree with it. Then you talk about look at having that tough conversation in the mirror. That's what touched me the most, dog. Because I've had to do that before. Mm-hmm. I've had to sit there and say, God damn, Chris, it was a birthday, dog. My daughter, we had a birthday, and the money that she got from her birthday was more than I had. I was like, at that point, it was just like, it hit me. Not sure enough I had something to do with her birthday, but technically she got more money than I got right now. So I understand what you're saying about what you're hustling for. I always hustle for independence. I always hustle for my semblance of freedom. I never wanted to I want to be able to come and go as I please. I want to be able to come into my house and have whoever I want to in here. I want to be able to get up in the car and drive where I want to go when I want to go. I don't want to be ruled by women, so I want to get out of my mama's house as fast as I possibly can. But that's me. So when you say hustling, I hustle for things like that. I hustle for my daughter to be able to, have a life where, for the most part, the things that you want, you can get. You know what I'm saying? Your daddy can look out for you. I take pleasure in her knowing that if you need something, Pops possibly can do it. I can't do everything, but yeah, Pops can possibly do that. You know what I'm saying? And I hustle for respect from dudes. I don't ever want no man to think that he could just play little boy me, play with me in the kind of way, you know what I'm saying? And that takes real gonna recognize real, respect gonna recognize respect. So you have to put that out there for a man to never try you like that. So these was all the reasons why I hustled. And I just, as far as your video, dog, I hear so much in there. That's why I just wanted to get your perspective and how you broke it down. Because to me, it was like a Kanye moment. It was just so many things going on, but you know, it was some jewels in there. So elaborate. Can you just elaborate a little bit more for me?
All right, let me go before Mario. Let me go before I go to Mario. Me and Norman had a house at one time. I'm already paying child support. Y'all know what I'm doing for my kids. Like I'm paying child support, but Tyler needs shoes for something. Kendra needed stuff. I'm only making so much at that time, right? Then I had got a bonus. Okay, I'm gonna be able to do this. Child support for whatever reason froze my account. It was the most fluke thing. Bro, I was in tears in front of the house, right? This was before Kevin saying I was in tears. My kid ain't gonna understand that, right? I had planned to go out and finally get some clothes. I needed some clothes real bad. And I had to eat it. And I had to catch myself. I said, you know what? As much as I'm sitting here crying, I get off at 4:00. I got enough time to work another job. You know what I'm saying? So some of the stuff I'm complaining about is fixable. Then the money, you know, this money situation, in 30 days I was screwed over, right? Did what I had to do, but I gave it I took care of the situation. But the point was, me as a man saying, am I doing all that I can as a man? With me complaining about my situation, am I being a grown ass man right now? Am I doing everything that I need to as a man? Because someone will sit around and let shit fall and shit let happen, but I ain't run from it, bro. And it's easy to run, but that shit gonna come back on you in the end. So I just feel like, and I ain't gonna tell a story, but I had a partner in the past that I just started to see, and it was my partner, but I just see he ain't want shit out of life, and I started distancing myself from him because, you know, like iron sharpen iron, and I just feel like at some point you do have to either goddamn try to sharpen that iron, or you gotta leave that dull shit on the ground. So there's a lot in that, because there's a little pain in that video too. You know what I mean? But I just say you have to be a man and say, am I really doing something with my life? Am I doing what I need to do? Or am I laying that shit on other people?
I love everything you said, but it was one thing that I don't want to say I disagree with, but I kind of pushed back on when you said doing everything you can. I don't think we should put that type of pressure on men. Men are already on a lot of pressure to do everything you can, because when you really think of it, there's always some more that you could do. You know what I'm saying? There's another hour of sleep that you could lose to do DoorDash or Instacart or something like that. What I preach to men, instead of trying to do everything that you can, be consistent. Work on your consistency. Work on showing up every week, every month, every day, every year, and then gaining from there. You know what I'm saying? I just think that sometimes that can lead to depression when you feel that you're doing all you can, and then it's still not enough. Yes. Sometimes you just need consistency. Sometimes you need to worry about consistency and not worried about what the outside world is saying to you. Stay consistent, my brothers.
Yes, but Chris, I'm saying everything that's in my everything that I'm responsible for, I have to give it everything. I can't let my mom. I ain't had that option, but I ain't go to my mama and say, hey, you know, like, I didn't let them do for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to have that moment where you be real with yourself. That's just like praying to God that, God, I won't blah, blah, blah. And I know I don't put the work in. I know I ain't even giving it an honest effort. God gonna lie. You only lying to yourself. God gonna be like, but if I put that work in, if I come to God, if I even come to God and say, look, God, I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I'm doing the best I can. I'm only making $700 every 2 weeks. This my child support $900. Like, bro, that's honest. That's but I'm trying.
I understand what you're saying, bro. I understand what you're saying, but I done looked at every one of y'all faces at times where that shit damn near broke y'all.
It's supposed to.
that whole.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to.
There it is.
It's supposed to. It's
There it
supposed to.
is. Well, I was scared of shit. A lot of times in life, I put my head down and trusted God.
And when before we had a civilization, when they pushed little boys at 13 into the wilderness, you think they weren't broken? You think they weren't scared? You think they didn't cry? But they dig deep and they found it. And that's what you need to be looking for. See, consistency is also, if not pushed, is the bearer of complacency. Because you can consistently give a half-ass job and you'll be consistent at the same level you was for the duration of your life. So right now, if you go to your job every day and consistently never get a raise, will you say that that's a good job?
No, well,
No.
I'm no okay. I'm hoping that you have the intent to increase.
Right, but see, increasing,
But not everybody does.
Increasing is finding it to push it, because what you just said was so eloquently said. See, sometimes that increase, you have to be broken to push through it. That's what I'm talking about. I agree. That increase sometimes is the hard part. See, that's the part of that saying, like, I got 3 more push-ups. Them 3 more push-ups is the push-ups that hurt.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's so right now, that's when Tootie saying look in the mirror. When you looked in the mirror, that was your broken spot. Getting up from that mirror is the push through. But if you don't never push yourself to that level of it's almost I got to grow a little more, because in that spot right there, it taught you so much. When I was broken, I learned more in that broken spot than I learned in my entire life. I tell men this so much. Tootie asked the question, why did I hustle? I hustled because my mama worked 3 jobs. I seen her get up in the morning, and sometimes I didn't see her get up in the morning. She got up at 4:00. Then she worked a job. Then she worked another job. Then she worked at Walgreens all the way until it closed at night. So in that meantime, some kind of way we ate, or she'll call and say, did y'all eat? Come up here and get some food. But then I stopped saying, damn, I'm young and I'm trying. She don't want me to work because she wanted me to play sports and have a life. But at the end of the day, I'm watching my mama work 3 jobs and still find a way to call me to get food at my house. That's why everybody was at my house. My mama was never there. I say, oh, damn that. Boy, I'm a man. So from what you tell me a man's supposed to be, damn if I'm taking my mama job, I'm supposed to be the one to sacrifice. A man is supposed to sacrifice. I believe that with all my heart. So let me sacrifice. Misguided, getting information from the wrong guys who love me so much, love me but didn't have the good information to give me. I start hustling because me and Papa was just talking about this. You know how many times we hustled and put money into my mama drawer, and I heard her call my auntie. I just to tell the truth this. I heard her tell my auntie, "Ooh, God bless me. I done found some money. Ooh, I don't even know. I didn't even know how I was gonna pay that light bill. And look at the Lord." And that was from me hustling. So I seen then, like, nobody not gonna give you shit. They never gonna give you nothing. So then I said, well, hold up. As a man, I fucked around and had a baby young. So my mom was taking care of me, then I had a baby. So then I'm like, well, damn, I got to keep going. But I was spoiled. My mama still gave me everything she wanted. I still was being a fucked up person. Until I seen that at the end of the day, I got to Atlanta and I didn't want to be at my dad's house. And I was mad that he wasn't helping me. My mama didn't have it to give to me, but I still had to pay child support. I still had to give my daughter stuff, right? But I was like, damn, I'm working these 2 jobs and I ain't got shit and all this. I'm like, who put yourself here? You did that. Chris, man, you just had this conversation. I spent 10 years of my life trying to be a drug dealer and trying to be Pablo Escobar. I thought I could have went to school. I did that to myself. Damn what my daddy didn't give me. Damn what my mama didn't give me that. I went to school and I was able to have hot food. I did that. So, nigga, guess what you got to do? Course correct. But see, in that course correction, I sat there and looked at a house where I had $30,000 in clothes and $1,000 in my bank account. I sat there and looked at my house and said, well, I had a hell of a life. I got 1,001 stories, and I don't even know where the hell my health insurance coming from. See, that's when you have to look in your mirror and say, yeah, I'm party hardy. I could go out and have a good time. I'm on every scene. I'm living La Vida Loca. I'm in Atlanta going to clubs from Tuesday to Sunday again. Me and my dog is living the world, and I ain't got shit. Then I had to say, me and Zayden had this conversation. For 6 months of my life, I got to step back and don't do a damn thing. So in that process, some of my homeboys like, damn, bro, I'll never see you. You ain't doing nothing. I can't live your life. See, you're doing good. You're inviting me out because I'm your homeboy and you fuck with me. But I can't fuck with you right now because I don't love you. Because I'll never be doing good. Because I'm living off of your life. You see what I'm saying? I might be paying my way to get in the club, but the bottle's coming from you. I'm riding in your nice new car. I'm pre-gaming at your big ass house. See, then going back to my apartment. See, all that's your life that I'm partaking in because you love me. But I gotta love myself. And above all, I got somebody who else I gotta love more than me, who is responsible. So that's why I say, as a man, you got to keep pushing yourself. You got to keep pushing. I'm not saying push, and I agree with one thing, Chris, what you said, a lot of stuff, but one thing. I'm not saying push yourself to what the world tell you to push yourself. I'm saying that's why we begin with looking in the mirror. So you know when you're not giving a bunch. You knew that. Like you knew that. I could have said, Chris, it's like you're doing pretty good. Chris, man, you getting what? Man, you don't need to work DoorDash and your job. See, that's what I might say. Then somebody else might say, Chris, you need to get one more job. But it don't matter. Chris knows. I'm doing it. I'm going from work, talking to Kylie, hanging out with Kylie, doing DoorDash. I'm maxed out. So then you can look in the mirror and say, hey, I might be climbing slowly up that ladder. But one thing I know, I'm giving my all I can possibly do to maintain mentally.
You're right. You're completely right. I'm just speaking as a brother looking on the outside. I seen them nights that you was devastated about not being able to do whatever for your daughter. I've seen them. I think that held you up from getting from finishing school and getting your GED and things like that because of that stress of having to do that. So I understand what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing by no means, but as a person, as a brother looking at you, I seen that the despair in you. And as a brother, I don't want you to look like that. I don't want you to feel that way.
But how about this? But then you see me go from firsthand, from a lot. You seen, because when my process of becoming a man, a lot was spent with you. Like my adolescence from the transition of like, I'm wild and I could go to prison any day to I got niggas who around me who I respect, who doing good, who like going to college, who working, who I respect. I didn't have too many niggas from the hood that I looked at who wasn't green or lame that wasn't hustling. Honestly, I'm just being realistic. Like when I got up there with y'all, I'm like, man, I know these some cool. These ain't no bitches. These are real. And they all going. So it made me feel like I'm a loser now, because I'm not doing nothing. I'm just sitting around.
That's what I think it takes. It takes us to be a team and to feed off each other instead of us just feel like.
You didn't come home to me and give me long talks. That's my point. You didn't come home to me and bro. You was trying to figure it out too. We was fucking up together. But I'm saying at that point of life right now, when I was broken, it was something because I had a child in me. So, but now fast forward, you got a child. Then I see you go from Palm Beach to Orlando. But then I see the same thing. But see, I already been there. Just like when Tootie came to Orlando them couple times, and people don't know. And he was like, yeah, bro, I'm just stopping in. But we sitting in my house, and he like, bro, you know you got to get your shit together, bro. You know what I'm saying? I know it's fun to hang out. I know this, and I know this. I'm like, yeah, bro, you don't know, nigga. You did Palm Beach. Nigga, I'm up here fucking hoes. I'm up here, you nigga. What you? He like, I hear you. And it's all, remember the ant and the grasshoppers, same dumb ass shit and all his life. You know, but now at 40, and I'm like, bro, get you another car. And he had an older man, I ain't got, man, get you some clothes. All the shit I cared about that was frivolous. But I'm, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing? But then now, fast forward, the same thing. So now when you go, like, bro, I just got to get a job. I just got to work for one good year. And I'm like, bro, I've been there. I walked to work. But, look at you now, though. Because it's not a man who make it to the top without being broken at one point. Because that's a part of manhood. That's a part of shedding off that boy. And it's like the fertilization of that butterfly to that cocoon. You have to go through that hurting stage to have wings. You got to do that. And if you don't do it, you just delaying it. And anything, if a butterfly don't get wings after too long, it's gonna wither and die.
Yep.
Well, whatever it takes to stop Horace from wearing jorts, I'm with it because I used to hate them jorts. So if you have to influence him to get to change the dress code and get out of
My George,
yes,
the black ones, the
all of them. I hated them jorts.
You don't like my Jordans?
Jorts, long jean shorts.
Oh man. Listen, in my defense, y'all done told me two to do this, two to do that. My mind be locked in. I just told Mario, I'm about to do another 6 months. Like I'm about to disappear. You're gonna be broken a few times. That's like when you go to the gym to make that muscle, you gotta rip up that old shit. So listen, I'm about to go 6 months underground again. But yeah, I ain't been the most fashionable out of all of y'all, but at the end of the day, I damn sure get what y'all don't want. You wonder it ain't the dryer taking your shit, it's me.
I never knew you needed it. And in that moment, I said, it's gonna be lonely. You're gonna be hurt. You're gonna have to walk outside sometime and just cry. You're gonna have to pull up to a job you don't want to go to sometime and sit in the car and just cry. You're gonna have to find it. But oh boy, when you find it. See, that's the thing. It only gets you ready to the next level. Then you're gonna have to go through it again.
Yeah.
Chris was broken in. Chris got a management job and hit me up like, bro, I don't know, this is crazy. These niggas, it has to keep going. But see, this time I had one conversation and then he called me back next day. Yeah, see, now the conversation don't have to be that long because you know how I feel. You know what it takes. It just keep getting tougher and tougher and tougher. But if you never do it, bro, and I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna let Zay go. Cause I know it's 4 people. The one thing that hurt men in that stage right there, listen to me, men, is having women who don't understand that that's what a man got to do. Because a woman's job is to facilitate and help your feelings, your emotions, take away your hurt. See, when Chris said he felt hurt, all the other women in my life were doing everything they can to ease my pain. When I was in a position where I should have been hurt, I should have been fed up. I should have been so mad at myself that I wanted to do better. So understand, the women who love you, it's going to break them too. It's going to hurt them. But you can't listen to them because this is not their journey. This is our journey. We got to go through this. They can't tell you how to go through it. They can't tell you how to get out of it. They can't tell you nothing about it because they don't go through it. They go through their own journey that we can't tell them nothing about. We can't tell them nothing about being a woman. Nothing about having a baby, nothing about nurturing a child, but they can't tell you nothing about putting on your armor and sharpening your sword to go be the provider, protector, and the general that you're supposed to be. Iron sharpens iron. So when you in that danger, and you in that jungle, and you in that lion's den, the worst thing you can do is consult with a woman, because all she's gonna do is make you feel better. She's gonna make it easier for you. No, my brother. You need that fire turned up because it's going to forge you. And I'm telling you, it's going to forge you. And you're going to become a better person, bro. I cried so many nights. I was mad at God so many nights. I was mad at my daddy, my mama, my everybody, bro. I just felt like the whole world had turned. I was so disgusted at myself and everything. But then it gave me another, like, bro, I never want to feel that way again. I never want to feel that way again in my life. So know what I do? I delay gratification. I try my best to find purpose in the things I do. I understand that it's self-preservation, and that means that sometimes I got to tell you no matter how much I love you. I understand. See, those are the lessons you learn when you ain't got it. Because if you always got it, you always saying it. You always making somebody happy. You always this. You always, and see, you know what I'm saying? That hurt, dog, and it hurt, and I know it. Go ahead, Zay. I can talk all night on this because this is.
Where's that? I want to add to y'all before I go to Zay. My fear confession is always going to be mediocrity. So I know people be laughing. Oh, Tootie making reels and da 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 da. End of the day, Tootie making reels. I'm doing something unpopular, but I'm doing what I want to do. I'm getting these checks from doing reels. So gotta have the courage to do what the hell you want to do. So, all right, Blickman.
You got to keep that same mindset, Horace, because you said about the dull knives. You feel like they're dull; they just haven't been sharpened yet. So they're doing what they want to do, and you got to love them where they are. Those individuals that you have in your coterie of friends, you can't get so hard with your heart because you see life a certain way. They may be just fine where they are, and that can be all right. There may be those friends that when you're done doing the things that working toward your goal shooting, then you can parlay with them. But as far as you shooting for your goals, you guys may be going different directions. But I'm always one to speak on that because I'm never one to try and cut people off. But that's just that. So as I looked at that reel, where Chris was saying, you did have a lot of talking points. You spoke on a lot of things, and I think your introduction was what drives the hustle in you, or what built the hustle. And Hardy, you hit on a very good point because both of us come from single mothers who did everything. We saw them do everything. So the hustle actually came naturally to us because hell, that's all we saw was hustling women around us. And then actually it ended up getting good because, as you said, we had individuals that poured into us that probably didn't give us the best advice, but they gave us the best advice that they had. So they took it, and because we are the individuals that we are, we soaked it up and we were able to advance at it really, really fast. But just like in advancement in that area, we started to learn that this wasn't enough. So that's probably like the first breaking that you're talking about. And then we start to wonder, we start looking in the mirror, all right, I've accomplished all of these things, but I still feel empty. Like you said, I too, extensive clothes for dumb reasons, you know what I'm saying? Which didn't make any sense when God finally popped my pockets. When God popped my pockets, I was the freshest broke person there was. I don't have any money, but I look like $1 million. You know what I'm saying? And that's when you have that first mirror talk. Like, what in the hell is it I'm doing? I can speak from personal experience. Everybody named Mama know I love my Mary and Jane. And at one point in time I got in life when I'm burning, and I'm saying, why are you burning? You are not a boss. You are broke. You took your $10, your last $10 to get something to smoke. That's not smart. And I quit cold turkey, which nobody believed me for the longest. Like, yeah, you still sneak and do something. No, that day I looked in the mirror. I did not like what I saw, and I changed. And you guys know the story after that. That change went from me going from being street Zay to corporate thugging Zay, who had on a tie and a jacket or something every time you saw me, but I rose the ranks. And like you said, as you continue to grow or evolve, you're always going to come to points where you're going to break again. And it's going to be time for that newer creature to come out, because time is going forward, not backwards. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to get bigger and you got to get better, and you get stronger as you hit those different levels. You do, as a man, have to stop and look in. Mario, you said a great thing. I tell you guys, I'm the ladies' man. A lot of people think it's Casanova of the ghetto, but it's not that. If anybody knows my dynamic, it's majority women. So if I don't know how to do anything else, I know how to make women comfortable, I feel, right? But in that same time, when I'm going through hard times, they're always there for me the way that I'm there for them when I'm strong. Say, you'll be all right, you got it, what you need, and all of those things. And I think with my guys here on this screen, they know this to be true. I'm my mom's only child. I'm the baby child for my father. It's a lot of things that my mom will do for me that I have to tell her I can't take that from you, because I'm going to have to learn. And my exact conversation to her is, one day you won't be here and I won't have your blanket or your covering, and I'm still going to have to figure it out. So let me figure it out, knowing that I got backup, but I don't want to use my backup or my get out of jail card until I really have to, because then it does not become a loss. It becomes a lesson. A lot of men take a lot of pressure on themselves. Like Chris said, don't overwhelm yourself trying to play up to this, to what society says you need to do, or, risk your life and limb so that you look like you're successful. Make sure you're doing something that you're happy with and you're comfortable. Damn what anybody else says. And even if they don't understand what you're doing, you do. And you need to be all right with that. You feel me? They can be light years ahead of you. I catch up just as long as you keep that consistency that my brother said. But make sure that with your consistency that you're actually checking it. See, when you're going checking yourself in the mirror, you got to check that pen and that pad on them things that you wrote down to make sure that you're knocking them off the list. Because once that list gets cleared out, you got to rebuild that list. So you got to tell yourself again, that's the only way that you are going to grow. But it took us time. See, we went from boys in the hood to hustling and thought we ran the hood to thinking that we're at the top of the world to realizing we ain't no shit, to having to start back over probably in our later 20s, early 30s, and feeling like we were 16, 17 all over again because some of our friends who went from high school to college got what we thought was a head start on life. Now, the funny and the trick thing to that is this. When they were in college, we were out here, we were the man, and we thought that we had everything figured out until we realized that they shot past us, and now we look to try to learn from them. So again, that takes a lot, because a lot of guys we see fail. They just think that I need to go harder in the streets. We were smart enough to realize that this ain't it, and I got to be humble enough to ask this man, how did he get where he's going? Because he looks like me. He stands up when he pees. So maybe his advice may not be the right, but I can take the sense from the nonsense that he tells me and forge my own path. So your hustle changes. You no longer want to be illegal. You want to find something that when you hustle and make your money, you can go home and sleep at night, not be wondering if your door gonna get kicked in or something to that effect. Because I think we've all been through that too. And that's just things that we don't glorify or talk about like that. But all of that changes you. So your hustle does change. And when you see people making legal money, like how you saw men making illegal money, it make you sit down on your ass and think about what my next move is going to be, which actually steps you up as a man, because now you see that you're not doing what you did when you were a boy or a child. And for me, like I said, that's what made me go. God blessed me with a beautiful young girl. She's turned into a teenager this year. It's certain things that I can't have her see me not accomplish, but it's also things that I felt like I didn't have that I need to make sure that she does have. So that's what drives my hustle right now. It ain't even me. I've been gave myself up. If you see me, I'm probably not the freshest guy there is anymore. I don't care about the latest shoes that came out. I got a slew of them. But as long as I got covering, one thing you'll never ever catch is me borrowing any money from you or asking you to cover me on something, because I made sure that I did those things for myself. And that's just where, when you're hustling, you want to look and make sure that you're graduating. Any man that's watching this right now, make sure that you are setting yourself up 30, 60, 90-day goals and revamping yourself after you knock those goals off so that your hustle can change. And ultimately, I hope that you find something that's legitimate that can carry you, and not just you, but your family, and hopefully build legacy. Because I think at the end of the day, that's what all of our hustles are hopefully leading us to where the money that we generate goes into the little ones that we created, and that they have soaked up some of this game from us, and not on the outside, that they can give to our offsprings, which are going to bear our last name. So for me, like I said, I looked, Horace, at what you were saying. It was a lot. You dropped a lot of gems. I hope the guys that watched it picked up on some of them, even though it was all over the place. The ones that made sense to them, gravitate to those and take off. Prosper, my brothers. Sorry for the long-winded, but good subject. So I'm glad that you did bring that to the forefront.
Hey, Horace, did you got my cap over there? I want to give it to Zay. You over here talking about, I ain't the freshest dressed and all this other shit. Get that cap and put it on his head.
I'm not, my brother.
International travel all the goddamn time. Give him the biggest cap there is.
Listen, Shine, and Amazon. I've gotten like the women, man. I be like, shit, that look good. I'm gonna put it on. And if I got a little flavor, thank God and Jesus, because they gave it to me. Because boy, I definitely all that Louis, Gucci, and all them other names that I can't call, I ain't got time for them at all. You paid $1,000, I paid $11.99, and we gonna see who shine. It is what it is.
Just tell me you got OnlyFans.
No, not at all. That's you. I think that's why you're getting good at the reels. You good at being on camera. Tell the truth.
Nah, man. Listen, I have to apologize to the audience. My schedule's been hectic. But when that thing hit the 1 hour mark, I'd be on the ropes the last 3 shows, man. I've been like off a little bit, man. But
he high.
One thing I will admit, man, like I say, we started this podcast for various reasons, But iron sharpens iron, man. Like I always tell on the show, Chris is the person who goddamn he's brilliant. Is he an asshole? Yes. Maybe maybe I take comfort because he's an asshole, but he's brilliant. Mario is TD Jakes 2030. He's coming. You know, he's coming. Zay, nothing. But
You're Japanese.
That's why he be beefing with you all the time. Shit like that be the reason why he be beefing with you all the damn time.
I can't be.
It's all right. He admire me. He not beefing with me. He just don't want to tell me, but I know it's okay. That's why I love him.
Didn't me. Listen.
Yeah, just love on him. That's all. He can't help it.
Hey,
see,
I'm going to.
All right, Horace. I got you. Still taking to go get some hoochie daddy shots. Some ain't no.
But listen, people on this show, nobody on this show wears hoochie daddy shorts, but Zay.
That's a lie.
Mario.
That's a lie.
Mario at the cuff. Those not hoochie daddies.
Mm.
He might wear some different kind of sandals, but he don't wear no hoochie daddy shorts.
I'm gonna definitely put on some.
What?
I'm gonna definitely put on some sandals and all kind of stuff. I feel you. I just think it's so impactful. You know, I hear so much people. That's why I be so. When I hear so many women have so much to say about the plight of a man becoming a man, when that intricate, like that little moment right there is so impactful. Like, and most men miss it. So it blows my mind when I hear a woman trying to articulate to a man on what the steps are in the process of becoming a man. When men who are born this way, a male, miss it. They've been that way all their life, and they still don't miss the transition to boy to male to man. Like, that's a transition, boy to male to man. And it'd be like, you got it. It's okay. It's going to be all right. No, it's not going to be okay. Like, we got a older homeboy. And me and Tudor talk, and I was like, damn, this is crazy. When we was young, we looked at him as a bum. But the stories we heard about him was amazing. His homeboys, we respected. That's who gave us the game. And they all had families, or they were single and owned stuff, or they had kids and they was taking care of them, or they had nice cars and all this. And he was just a bum. But it was cool as shit. I'm talking about, you go to his house, we didn't matter. It didn't matter. He said his mama didn't really sweat us being in her yard. He was 45 at that point in time. I think that's around the time we is now. He was 45 around that time. We was like 20, maybe 21. We were like, and we thought he was the laughing stock. But to us, he used to like sit out there and give us game. We used to be like, nigga, shut the hell, like, but he was cool though. And I was like, damn. So one day I was sitting out there, and me and Norman was sitting out there, and I was like, I wonder how he got here though. Because I hear nothing but amazing things about him up until like 30, 35. I hear he had the nicest car, he had all the women, he had the freshest clothes. I hear all this great shit. And I see his other homeboys who I hear gangster shit about it in real stories, but I see a position in their life when he never, that's what I say, that consistency. He been the same since he been 20. He never got no better. But he been consistently the same. Since he been 22, he maxed out. He's been showing up every day of his life the same way since he's been 22. And at 22, the same stuff you require in the world is not required at 45. So you're right. It don't matter that you're not doing this. It don't matter that you don't do this. It don't matter that you don't do that. But at 45, that shit matters a lot. And I sit down like, damn, bro, because stuff like that used to have me introspectively thinking like, bro, how I do not be like that? Because he was cool. This wasn't no dumbass nigga. This wasn't no lame. This is a cool nigga. Everybody, he hung around some niggas who I respected. So I'm like, bro, how do I not be like this? So then I start having conversations with him on, tell me, man, when you got to school, what you did? And he'll tell me, I'm like, oh, boy, I definitely can't do that, bitch. so everything he told me he did, I made the fuck show that I didn't do that. And dog, one of the best reasons why Chris' brother Mario came and said, bro, for the summer, let's just go there with my brother. Nigga told me, man, them niggas used to go out of town all the time. I ain't never go nowhere. I said, oh, hell no. Let me go. I got in my car and drove the hell away. And then dog, for real, this man inspired me. He don't even know this. He inspired me on another level because I see, and I started feeling sorry for him because I seen how easily your life can slip away. And you can look up one day and you 50. Then I started coming back home. So then he started talking to me like I'm the big homie. Look, bro, good to see you like this. Throw me some. Boy, you doing good. So that's what I'm talking about. So you doing everything I wanted to do. I'm like, damn. And he was giving me admiration, but it was breaking my heart. I'm like, how? Just move. Just go away for a couple months. Just like break it. But one thing I know, his life was never very hard. His mama was there from the beginning to the end. I love his mama. His mama, I'm not killing him. Then fucking her know exactly who I'm talking. She loved her baby. That was her baby. He got away with murder. Loved him. He did whatever she wanted. He did whatever he wanted at her out and never put him. She should have been put his monkey ass out. She should have been kicked him out. She should have been did a lot of that shit and it would have put him on a situation where he had to. And that's the only. And I'm bringing up this story to say that's what I'm talking about. That pushing through that next level. He never had to push himself. See, at some point, you couldn't go to grandma's house no more. You couldn't go to. You had to go in Orlando and find your way. Like ours is like, bitch, I can't go back to Vicky house, but she's still raising Norman. At that point in time, Jeremy, Jarrell was kids. Like, what the fuck? I can't bring my kids back here. I have to find my way. Because I ain't had no money. Shit. So she did. I don't know how she took care of us or what she was making it. So I had to find a way. See, sometimes in them painful moments, I'm saying you got to push. And I tell women all the time with little boys, you got to push them out there. They got to hit that ground because if not, they're not helping the society. We only as strong as a nation as our men. That's why I keep saying iron sharpens iron. That means the cutting, the chipping, and the sawing against each other is what make us sharper. Swords hitting each other is not a good feeling. Go ahead, Corey.
You're a professional, man.
I am a professional. Listen, I had an argument with a chick one time about a teenager, and it's sad to say that he ended up being murdered. So it hurts me because she's devastated a couple of years ago. But I was always tell her, like, you love him? Yeah, I love my son. I say, you love him, but do you love him? Like, I'm showing you that you're part of the problem. You know what I mean? She was working 2 jobs, take care of. He in a car, so I started seeing him getting the tattoos in his face. He's selling dope out of a car. While she at work, he trapping out the house. And I was like, hey, I need you to talk to him. Well, say what? Because I talked to him before, and you went behind me. So I said all to say, that's what I just said something to my mama a minute ago. Like, my mama, I'll be doing something. Oh, I got my mama say, we got to go. My mama say, when I was running for office, I hope you careful. Oh, I don't want you doing that. I had to check her. I say, stop putting that fear in me, man. Stop putting that fear in me. So a lot of women, like on 300, let these boys become men and make sure you're not the problem, stopping them from being accountable or being a grown-ass man. So I'll say that to close the show out, man. All right.
She got on you today.
She's been gone for a while.
It's crazy, Horace. That's that speech that you just said right there. And I think our conversation that we had last week about what TD Jakes had to say, I believe they run hand in hand. Because if you notice, as you said, you spoke to the young man and she, chimed in, you probably were being too hard, thought that you were too aggressive, something like that, not knowing that this world is big, wide, and aggressive and will swallow you up. It doesn't care. But then on the flip side, when they're raising the women, they're actually shoring the women up to be tough in the world when women shouldn't be. It should be the boys that they getting cultivating toward, making sure that they're ready for this rough world so that they can provide for the women. So it's always a slippery slope when it comes to that. Hopefully, we fix that part as a Black race culturally, so that can help us strengthen our roots and our families can just take off and flourish. That's ultimately what hopefully we get. But that's just what I saw.
All right, we got to get out of here. Around the horn in 30 seconds or 1 minute or whatever they say. Chris Leo, go.
Thank you for showing up tonight, man. It's been a pleasure. It's been therapeutic for one, and we just glad you can show up every Monday because we're gonna be here. Hopefully, you'll be here. Leave the $40 on the dresser.
Yay, ladies man.
Shout out to the Fifth Musketeer, Shelly. Do what she said. If you pull something from this show, share it, tag it. We appreciate you. Monday Night Raw, we out.
Super Mario Senior.
Hey, we're praying for all the kids that they start school in these next couple of weeks. So, man, we are definitely keeping them in prayers and hoping they have a successful year and a safe year. All these pandemics and these new diseases popping up and just the craziness in the world, man. We want to say from Black Super Friends, we definitely keep y'all in prayer because that's what we are, protectors at heart first. So thank y'all for coming to watch us tonight. Thank y'all for giving us y'all 2 cents, and I'm gonna thank y'all in advance for sharing because we appreciate everything you're doing for us to spread this good word. Because in the Roman days they said you was a disciple when you spread the good news. So I expect everybody to ask yourself, what would Jesus do? And he would spread the good news. So you do the same thing.
You're a disciple.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what I'm about to do. I'm about to spread this chicken through the air fryer and go to sleep. I appreciate you making it to see us another week. So,
definitely lose.
You
know who's gonna lose. Liquid Lipo, my ass.
I told y'all from the get-go, one thing I wouldn't do is come in last. So count that. You know what I mean?
Christy gonna beat you.
Nah.
And Chris will run it.
Peace out, Black people.